So up next at the 2020 Marshall County Media Day is the DAR Patriots and Coach Joel Poole. I believe Coach, this is either 4 or 5 years now at DAR.
Something like that.
About 15 or 16 as the head football coach. We appreciate you guys being here today. Would you introduce the two young men you brought with you today, then tell us a little bit about the 2020 DAR Patriots.
Okay. Today we brought senior JT Balch, he's an offensive guard, and junior Buck Harden, he's an offensive tackle. Both these guys started for us last year, did a fine job for us, and you know, I like to bring my offensive lineman when I can. So here we got a couple of them here. Off season wise, you know, we fought through all the COVID stuff like everybody else. We've really had a good off season as far as attendance. The kids have come in and worked out good. We're hovering right around the 50 people mark right now. We've had a good week of practice. We just literally walked off the field just now, so we're a little bit sweaty and stinky. So you're not close enough, but it's, you know, we've had a good week, and looking for another one next week.
All right, questions, guys?
Coach, just now working on 2 seasons ago, DAR had one of the best seasons that it's ever had. The hype around the football team grew in the community. I mean, just it was unreal as to just the excitement. How has that kind of helped launch over these last couple of years in spite of this pandemic? How has that kind of helped launch the excitement?
Well, you know, it was a big thing. It was a big thing. The first playoff, host a playoff game, first playoff win. It was a tremendous team. We had a big group of seniors that year, and you know, we tried to kind of springboard off that. I think we've thrown for 3,000 or 4,000 yards for 3 or 4 years in a row, and done some good things and put up a lot of points. But you know, we're trying to build from that. Every team's not going to be the same. We had 2 gunslingers those years. Those guys could throw, and Will Bailey and Justin Stubblefield. And you know, we may be a little bit different look. Like we're running the wishbone this year. No, I'm just kidding. But we may be a little bit different look. We feel really good about our running backs and our O-line, and so we may mix it in the run a little bit more, but we're still going to do the same. But we definitely use that group to, you know, that's our goal every year, and our kids know that, and a lot of these guys played with that group, and so. But yes, it was a very exciting time at DAR. It was good. You know, we carried over, and I really feel like we've had a lot of excitement still. I think the kids were, the minute we sent them a remind out on and told them, hey, we're about to start workouts and things, they were extremely fired up, and they got out there, and you know, they bugged me to death in the off season. Hey, can we sneak in the field house and work out? You know, we have different people with different gyms throughout the mountain over there, and they would try to go there, and you know, it's just. It was good to see them hungry. It really is, and that's how it's been this week too. So,
how many did you have out?
I'm sorry.
How many did you have out?
We have 50 out, right around the 50 number right now. You know, my goal as a 4A school is to have about 15 a grade. We're not there yet, but we're making progress. So, the senior class this year, we have 7 players right now, but the junior class is a big class, and the sophomore class is a big class. So we're trying to kind of build from that. It just, you know, it ebbs and flows and comes and goes like that, and throughout the years. So, but yeah, if we could have, you know, 13 to 16 a year and graduate, would be a lot better because of it. That's how we worked 2 years ago as well. I think we graduated 16 or 17 guys.
Coach, you talked about had a big senior class. How many starters are coming back from this year's team from last year's team?
I know we got 4 of the offensive linemen back, a couple of receivers back, and a running back. So, you know, we're looking at 7 or 8 on offense. Defensively, probably a similar amount, 7 or 8 right there. Our starting quarterback this year is going to be Cameron Lindsay. He was a starting defensive back last year. So he probably won't do a whole lot of defensive time, but he will play some defense. So, you know, that's kind of against my religion, but at the same time, so is losing. So we'll put the best we got out there.
I think last year at this time, you told me that you were replacing an offensive line.
That's correct.
So apparently these guys came in last year, played pretty good. Apparently they're pretty good leaders because they're here media day today.
They are. They're real good leaders. They've had, like I said, they've had a great off season. We lost 1 senior last year, and you know, that was Eli Spray. We lost a player in a car accident. Actually, it's JT's first cousin. Very hard times at DAR, but you know, we've recovered from that, and we we're going to do our best. We can't replace him, but to find somebody to step in for him. And so we've the O-line's really come a long way. I'm very proud of those guys. Not huge, but athletic.
Coach, just looking at Region 7, it looks absolutely loaded this season. On paper, it looks as though it could be one of the best in the state of Alabama. How excited are you guys, players, and you as a coach as well, just to be able to compete in there?
Well, we were talking about that on the way down here just a minute ago. It's an extremely tough region, and I think the guys are excited to play some of the bigger schools that we have to play. Madison Academy and Madison County come back in to our region, and that's going to be difficult. And it's new for some of these guys. We were in there with them 2 years ago, and so some of the guys remember that. But it's new. It's definitely a tough region. It really is, and you got to be game ready every Friday night that you show up. And we've talked about that, discussed that, and there's no off nights, that's for sure.
Today's the players, I think it was last Wednesday or Thursday when the Alabama High School Athletic Association said we're going to have a football season. How excited were, and I'd like for both of you to speak on this, how excited were you to have a football season in 2020?
Well, I was very excited. As soon as I saw that, I was really excited because I was worried that we weren't going to have one because I know a bunch of colleges and other schools are back and forth about it, and I was really happy to see that the season is going to be good.
Basically the same thing. Basically, yeah.
We try to keep a buffer between, gosh, I hate to say it, the rumor, the gossip line. Well, every day you hear so-and-so's not playing, and this school's this school's that. So the coaches try to keep a buffer between the players and that, and pretty much every day at weights or whatever. Hey, we're playing this year. We're playing this year. We're on. I just, because it's in the back of anybody's mind. Are we going to play or not? So we're trying to prepare them. Hey, you got to prepare yourself to play a game. That's what you got to do. I think they've done a good job with it.
For the players, you guys, two of the leaders on this football team, how do you guys want to and hope to set the example of leadership for your teammates?
Well, I want to push everybody to be the best we can be. I hope we can lead and be a great team this year. And yeah, that's all I got.
Well, as an older guy, I'm trying to help these younger guys, when we're doing drills and everything, just tell them basically what to do and everything like that,
And they do a really good job of that. Every year you start over with a freshman, and one of the best ways to learn something is to have to teach it. I know we encourage those guys to help them, when they're not in the drill and they're standing outside. And I watch them, they stand around, you got to step with this foot, put your head in this place. So they do a good job of it.
After that announcement from the HSA, and then you guys get to go on the field, this is for all of y'all, did you notice a kind of a pep in everybody's step once you stepped on the field? Just talk about the excitement of getting on the field.
Well, I know this guy was because I saw him in the gym that afternoon, and he was pretty excited. I think all of us were. The coaches. We you can't help but hear like I said, all the rumors and try to. I just try to ignore them. But what about you, JT? You were excited?
Yeah, I'm very excited, yeah.
Other questions?
Coach, as a coach, you're sitting there thinking, God, we didn't have spring. God, we didn't have a regular summer. Is it ease your mind any at all, being a coach, that everybody's in the same boat? You always see what you're missing, you have to realize everybody else is missing it too.
Gosh, without incriminating other schools, not so much, because I know there's other schools out there that may have skirted around some issues. But it did ease my mind knowing that we're all in the same boat and talking to other coaches. There's certain coaches you talk to and you call on the phone and go, well, "Are you doing anything?" "Well, I wanted to, but I got shot down," and we're kind of in the same boat. Everybody, I'm sure every coach in the state said, okay, we can't go in the weight room and we can't be in our facilities, so where are we gonna go? You know, what are we gonna do? And you know, like I said, there's other gyms throughout places that were open for a period of time and then they got shut down. But I mean, there was a few days I might have found myself wandering through some of those gyms to make sure those guys were working out. I'm not gonna, you know, lie, but I think a lot of that went on. But ultimately, there was very little football that could go on because of, you know, eyes, and of course, you know, everybody wants to be safe. And but yeah, that was in the back of my head. I really hope everybody else is not getting lift too. Actually, I was hoping everybody wasn't lifting, and our guys were.
Yeah.
So, but yeah,
So
that's.
JC, did you get to lifting?
Yeah.
Okay.
Coach,
They-
I want
Go
to
ahead.
make a point, you know, all these kids, you know, they need football, you know, everybody does. But you know, your community also needs an out, so to speak. And, you know, football is so important in the state of Alabama. You know, it'll mean a whole lot to the community if we do get to play. Because, you know, all these people's been cooped up for so long and have, you know, had a lot of positive things happen. So, you know, that means a lot for your football team, and it means a lot for your community too.
Well, it doesn't matter where you play at. The life skills that football teaches you the commitment to getting up to go and to be at 6 o'clock in the morning to work out or practice and all that stuff. That's definitely very important for these kids. Extremely important. And ultimately, we as coaches, that's our number one goal, is to teach these kids to be better citizens and better fathers and students and things. But definitely, I think, especially for the state of Alabama, you know, it's hugely important, and I hope that you know, it continues to be so, because there are definitely communities. I grew up in Limeville, and if you wanted to rob the bank, I mean, you could go down there, and nobody would really leave to go stop you during the football game. That's how it's supposed to be, and you know, that's the goal we want to set at DAR. You know, we're still a program in our infancy. We're 13 years old, I think, and so you know, we're trying to get that in the community. We've had a bunch of calls and a bunch of people, you know, encouraging. We hope we have season, and the kids are the same way. The parents are the same way. Had a Butcher Club meeting last night. It was really strange. It was in the bleachers outside, but we had a Butcher Club meeting and had a great attendance, and they were very excited. And I really think that, and I can't really speak for other schools, but I really think that the communities in most places have been apprehensive. What's going to happen? What's going to happen? What's going to happen? And then when that announcement came out last week, you know, then bam, my phone lit up like a Christmas tree, and everybody was excited, and the kids were excited, and the parents were excited. The Butcher Club president called me on the way here, and he just called me again. I know it was him because he calls me every 10 minutes. It's time. So that's just how that's how it is, and that's how it should be. I'm sure the rest of these coaches are in the same boat. It's just going haywire right now.
Coach, now that a lot of those questions are answered, August comes on Saturday. What are your expectations going into week 1 of the season when it's finally time to get real? And the lights come on? What's your expectations heading into week 1?
Well, that's the thing. We have some new faces. These guys and coaches that we've recruited some guys out of the hall, just to be honest, that are going to be able to step in and play. They look really good without pads on. You know, we're going to put pads on. So the big thing next week is, can we go to Friday and those guys continue to look good? So we're excited to have those guys. I know what these guys are going to do. They're going to get after each other. Some of the new guys, I don't know. And so that's going to be the thing. You know, we're going to go out and we're going to do our tackling circuit, and we're going to hit, and we're going to learn to tackle, and we're going to learn to block, and that's going to be the first priority next week. That's going to be mainly what we do. And you know, when we can finally get going real football, no more pajamas. So we'll see what happens.
Coach, kind of piggybacking on your comments, you didn't have a spring practice this year. The state's giving you 5 days this week. My question is, would you rather have
No.
practice?
Yeah, spring practice. No, I definitely don't want to give up spring practice.
Okay. I've heard different coaches make the comment they'd rather have the 5 days now than the spring practice, so I wondered about your thoughts.
Who are they? Coach Mitchell, sit down. Put your hand No, I really don't want to give up spring practice. I realize it's difficult because the spring sports take up a lot of time. But we've had a good system at DAR, the way it's handled, and I just, there's a lot of positive to it to me. Plus, it's 2 weeks instead of 1. So, you know, that's beneficial. I'm not a huge fan of spring games. And, you know, when I was at Outlaw, we just did a red and black game during that time. I like that, but, you know, traditions at DAR is you play a spring game. But I do think spring practice is important. It's just a fun time. There's not a whole lot of high pressure, but you can see the kids develop and get more mature and see how they've come from the fall. So I'm a proponent of spring football.
Any other questions for Coach?
All right, Coach Poole.
Appreciate it.
Thanks a lot. Thanks, guys, for coming. Good luck to the Patriots this year.
Thank y'all.
Appreciate you.